favorites. We've got fructose, water, and serotonin, so stick around and watch our show. And our first guest here today, everyone's favorite maestro of happiness, serotonin.
Hi all! I'm super happy to be here. I'm always super happy. I love being here. Positivity, rainbows, thank you for having me. Puppies!
Welcome, we're happy to have you, all of you. But you seem to be losing a carbon atom over there.
That's so embarrassing, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm composed of 10 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, 2 nitrogen atoms, and 1 oxygen atom. When I'm all together, at least.
Lovely, you wear those components beautifully.
Aw, thank you. You're beautiful. The world is beautiful. Puppies, sunshine. I just have one question. Why did you invite me here tonight?
For your positivity, obviously. Well, while your positivity makes you really friendly, we invited you here tonight for 2 reasons. The first is because you make the brain happy. A deficit of you leads to depression, so we thought it would be in our best interest if we had you here now.
That's right. I maintain a balanced mood in humans and animals. What's the second reason?
I'm getting there. Patience, Grasshopper. The second reason we invited you here tonight is because you heal wounds. That's super cool. Blood platelets release you and cause arteries to narrow, which helps form blood clots.
Yeah. I'm like a doctor and a psychologist. I'm all around the map. I'm so excited to be interviewed. Are we ready for that?
Absolutely. Serotonin, finding you to be our guest on our show tonight was a bit difficult. You are very hard to find. So tell me, where can you be found?
I'm everywhere. I can be found in the stomach and intestines, as well as in the brain.
You must be very busy in those places, as it took so long to find a date that you were available on. What is it that you do exactly?
Well, in the stomach and intestines, I regulate the bowels and make sure that the stomach doesn't get upset. I also make sure that the brain doesn't get upset. I make everyone happy. I regulate anxiety, happiness, and mood. I love happiness, flowers, kittens!
Very cool. You seem to do a lot for the body. Good for you. I hear you've been battling it out with osteoporosis. Can you tell us about that?
Don't even get me started on osteoporosis. We've been going through a rough breakup. Whenever I go to his home in the bones, more of him is found. Then the human takes medicine for him to go away and I never see him again. But that's okay. I'm still happy. I love being happy.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm sure you two can make it work, though. Earlier we mentioned how you help heal wounds. How do you do that? Are you some sort of witch doctor?
Not exactly. Here's what happens. Blood platelets release me. Then I cause tiny arteries to become even tinier. And then the blood can't get through, which causes blood clots. I make people feel better all the time.
Very cool. One last question. Do you have anything to do with being awake and being asleep?
Yes, actually. I stimulate the parts of the brain that control sleep and waking. Whether you are asleep or awake depends on which serotonin receptor is used.
Wow, I'm getting a little tired myself. I think we're getting to the end of our show. Before you go, is there anything else you'd like to say?
How about a few fun facts? I got some of those.
Sounds good. Please enlighten us.
Here's one. My best friend is music. Listening to music can increase serotonin levels. That's why we get along. I always listen to her. Here's another fun fact. Falling in love increases serotonin levels. I love love.
Well, that's all for serotonin. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. You make me happy. And I make you happy too. Have a great night.
Our next guest makes us hyper and everything sweet, fructose.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks for having me. It's very sweet of you.
It's my pleasure. How are you, fructose?
A little tired. My sugar's crashing as we speak. Can I ask you something? Why am I here?
Well, you're here for 2 reasons. One, because you're an important source of energy for the body, and we all could use some energy. Second, you're so prevalent in the writers of late night with the compounds diets. You are found in many desserts and you're put in coffee, as you're so sweet and so delicious. Fructose, tell me about yourself. What is your chemical makeup?
My formula is C6H12O6. I'm made up of 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen, and 6 oxygen.
What is your most common form?
My most common form is high fructose corn syrup, which is found in almost everything sweet. I am also one of the 3 dietary monosaccharides, along with glucose and galactose.
When were you first discovered?
Well, I was first discovered in 1847 by French chemist Augustin Pierre Dubreuil. However, here's a fun fact. I was named fructose until 1857 by an English chemist, William Miller.
Interesting. Any other interesting facts?
Well, yes. After I was discovered in 1847 and later named in 1857, it wasn't until 1957 that my most common form and favorite high fructose corn syrup was first invented, and it wasn't until 1990 before it was mass produced.
High fructose corn syrup. Is it made of corn?
Yes, it actually is. High fructose corn syrup is a sweetener made from cornstarch that has been processed by glucose isomerase to convert some of its glucose into fructose.
Amazing. Where can high fructose corn syrup be found?
High fructose corn syrup can be found everywhere in our everyday foods and drinks like coffee, candy, juice, bread, yogurt, and cereals.
Is high fructose corn syrup good for your health?
Not at all. High fructose corn syrup can lead to fat buildup in the body over a period of time, can lead to obesity.
So you're saying that we should not have any high fructose corn syrup?
Oh, not at all. Live a little bit. But everything must be enjoyed in small quantities along with exercise.
Thank you for being with us tonight. It was a great time, and it was so sweet of you to join us today.
It's my pleasure.
Up next is our final guest, the master of flow, water.
Hi everyone, thanks for inviting me. It was very cool of you to do so.
You're welcome. Now let me tell the viewers why we are having you on our show. The first reason is because you make up most of the human body. The second reason is that you make up most of the earth as well. And now on to some questions.
Wait, before you start, I would just like to say that I am made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Okay, you can continue.
Okay, someone has told me that you can change forms. Is that true?
Well, yes, at room temperature I'm a liquid, but when it gets too cold I turn into ice. And when it gets too hot, I turn into steam or I can evaporate.
That's cool. Now, can you tell me where I can find you?
Of course, I'm really easy to find. You can find me everywhere. I'm in your body, in the clouds, in the air, and I make up rivers, oceans, and more.
So you're kind of stalking all of us because wherever we are, you're there too?
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Do you mind if I ask your reactive?
Personally, I'm not, but when you mix me with another element, I can be extremely reactive.
That's interesting. All right, here's another question. What's your role on Earth?
Well, I play a huge role in the world economy. 70% of all fresh water is used for agriculture. I'm also used in some cases to heat and cool your home. Finally, the biggest role is that I keep you hydrated. Without me, you wouldn't want to know what would happen.
Finally, my last question to you is, what would happen if water didn't exist?
Well, I'm an essential part in metabolism, and without me, metabolism wouldn't exist. And if metabolism processes couldn't work, you are unable to maintain life.
I'm so sorry, but water, that's all the time we have for you. Thanks for...
Wait, before I leave, I would like to say some interesting facts.
Okay, go ahead.
I make up 75% of the human brain, and a person can't live more than a week without drinking me. Thanks for having me. I would really love if we could do this again sometime.
That's all the time we have tonight on Late Night with the Compounds. I hope you've enjoyed our show. I know I've had. Thank you for tuning in, and if you liked our show, tune in next week where I get the pleasure of getting salty with table salt. Good night, everybody. In time.
She didn't stay in character.
Our next guest